Welcome back, listeners. We're diving into a really strange historical account today.
Yeah.
The Green Children of Woolpit, England,
Interesting.
back in the 12th century.
Okay.
And we're looking at, this article called From Folklore to Fact, Investigating the Strange Case of the Green Children of Woolpit.
Hmm.
We'll see what we can make of this.
It's a really interesting case, like
Yeah.
it really blurs that line between folklore and history.
Yeah.
We have these accounts from chroniclers, like Ralph of Coggeshall
Okay.
and William of Newburgh. They actually, detail this very peculiar event.
So picture this, right?
Yeah.
You're in the village of Woolpit, and the name's really fitting, by the way.
Right.
And all of a sudden, these two kids, they just kind of pop up,
Out of nowhere.
seemingly out of thin air.
What makes them so unusual?
Well,
Aside from just appearing.
they have green skin.
Green skin.
Green skin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I don't mean like a little tint.
Right.
They are described as like vibrantly green.
Wow. Like almost otherworldly.
Yeah, it's really strange.
And that's not all, right? I mean, they spoke a language no one understood,
Of course, right.
wore weird clothes,
Naturally.
and get this, they only wanted to eat raw beans at first. Yeah,
It sounds like a fairy tale or something.
right. It's crazy.
So what did people think? Like, what was the reaction back then in 12th century England?
Well, you got to imagine,
Yeah.
medieval England, people already believed in the supernatural.
Yeah, for sure.
So these kids showing up, it must have been terrifying, right?
I bet. I can only imagine the rumors going around.
Oh, absolutely.
So did anyone help them?
Well, yeah, thankfully there was this landowner,
Okay.
Sir Richard de Calne,
Okay.
and he took them in.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, it speaks to, his compassion,
Yeah,
maybe even a little curiosity,
of
right?
course. Yeah.
Um, and so he took care of them, and under his care, they started adapting to life in Woolpit.
And their skin, it went back to normal.
Yeah, the green hue faded over time.
Huh.
Their diet expanded, thank goodness. They didn't just eat raw beans forever.
It's weird, right? Like their greenness just disappeared as they settled in.
Yeah,
It's almost like they were shedding their otherworldly origins or something.
it is kind of strange.
So did people try to explain like why they were green in the first place?
Oh, yeah.
What did they come up with?
One of the biggest theories was, get this, they came from an underground world.
Underground.
Yeah, called St. Martin's Land.
Hold on, like a whole other world down there?
That's what people thought back then, yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, well, subterranean worlds were like a big thing in medieval folklore.
I guess so.
It was this whole idea of like this hidden civilization beneath our feet.
Right.
It was really captivating to people.
So they figured these kids just stumbled out of this secret world.
It kind of makes sense in that context, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
And, some accounts even say that the kids, once they learned English,
Right.
said they came from a place where it was like always twilight and everything was green.
Whoa.
Yeah, pretty spooky. Right.
This is creepy.
So, maybe the green skin was from living in that kind of light all the time.
Maybe.
Who knows, right?
Uh.
But there were other theories too, of course.
What else did they think?
Well, some folks thought maybe they were just lost travelers from a far-off land.
Okay.
Maybe the green skin was from like a weird diet or something,
Could be.
or their environment, right?
Yeah.
And others thought maybe they were shipwreck survivors, washed ashore and totally confused.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
It does.
But you'd think someone would have recognized their clothes or their language at some point.
You'd think so, right? But that's the thing.
Yeah.
Nobody did.
Hmm.
It's like they came from a place that nobody knew about.
Like a blank spot on the map.
Exactly. A real mystery.
So what happened to them after they, got used to Woolpit? I mean...
Well, they settled into the community. The girl, she was the chattier one, apparently.
Oh, okay.
And she ended up marrying a guy from King's Lynn.
Okay.
The boy, sadly, he died young.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah,
So they just lived normal lives after all that.
pretty much.
No.
But their story didn't end there,
What do you mean?
People have been talking about the Green Children of Woolpit for centuries.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
It's a real head-scratcher. It's captured the imaginations of, like, historians,
Right.
folklorists, even scientists.
It really makes you wonder
It does.
about what we know,
It really does.
It's a story that makes you think about the limits of our understanding.
Exactly.
Like, what if there's more out there than we realize?
Exactly. That's what makes it so fascinating.
Yeah.
It really makes you think.
What do you think, listener? Are you starting to lean towards any theory yet?
Or are you Are you still completely hooked by the mystery?
It's hard to say for sure.
It really is.
But one thing's for sure. This is a story that's captivated people for hundreds of years.
And it shows no signs of stopping.
It really doesn't.
It's a tale as green as those children's skin.
And just as enduring.
Exactly.
We'll be back after the break to delve even deeper into this captivating mystery.
So don't go anywhere.
Stay with us. You know, it's amazing that a story from so long ago can still get people talking like this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And you mentioned that scientists are even looking into it?
Right.
What can modern science tell us about the Green Children?
Well, some researchers have been thinking about using DNA analysis,
Okay.
on any descendants they might have.
That's a really cool idea.
It is, right.
So if they really did come from somewhere completely different, like that underground world, wouldn't their DNA show it?
Yeah, it's possible.
Right?
Right. Imagine finding, like, genetic markers that we've never seen before.
Yeah.
It'd be huge.
It'd be like finding a missing piece of the puzzle of human evolution.
Totally.
But wouldn't it be hard to trace, like, family trees that far back?
Yeah, you're right.
It's a really long time ago.
It's a long time.
Especially for a small village like Woolpit.
Yeah, records from back then, they're not always reliable.
Right.
Or complete.
So even with all our technology, the mystery might just stay a mystery.
It might.
It makes you think maybe some stories are just meant to be, open-ended.
Oh, interesting.
Left for us to think about and wonder.
Yeah, and every generation can add their own spin to it, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like those old maps with the blank spaces where they wrote, "Here be dragons."
Right.
It's a reminder that there are still things out there that we don't know.
Yeah.
Places we haven't explored, things we don't understand.
Absolutely. The unknown is still out there.
And those are the places where you find the best stories, right?
Definitely.
The ones that challenge what we think we know.
The stories that make you question everything.
Speaking of which, you mentioned other legends of green children from different cultures. So what can we learn by comparing them?
Well, it's really interesting to see how similar ideas pop up in different cultures all around the world.
Right. Like there are these common threads that connect us all.
Exactly.
So are there any big similarities between the Woolpit children and these other legends?
Yeah, definitely.
Like what?
Well, for example, in 12th century Spain, there's a story about these green kids.
Green kids again?
Yeah.
Wow.
Coming out of a cave.
Okay.
Near a town called Banjas de la Encina.
Wow. So two separate stories.
Yeah.
Centuries apart. With the same basic details.
Crazy, right?
It's almost like there's some truth to it.
Or maybe it's just that people everywhere are fascinated by the idea of the other, something that looks like us but is different.
Different in some way.
Yeah, we see that a lot in myths and legends, right?
Lots of time.
It makes you think about the power of stories.
Yeah.
And how they shape our understanding of the world.
They really do.
Whether these stories are, based on fact or fiction, they tapped into something deep inside us.
That's for sure.
Something primal.
Yeah, I think it's that sense of wonder.
Wonder.
And the unknown. And in the case of the Green Children, their story keeps drawing us in because it raises so many big questions. Like, where do we come from?
Right.
What's out there beyond what we can see?
Yeah.
Is there more to reality than we realize?
It really makes you think.
It's a good reminder that even in our modern world, with all our science and technology, there's still room for mystery.
And wonder.
Speaking of mysteries, you mentioned that detail about the Spanish Green Children being led out of the cave by someone dressed in white.
Yeah, pretty strange.
Right.
What do you think that means?
I don't know. It's open to interpretation.
Right.
Some people think it was symbolic.
Symbolic?
Yeah, like a spiritual guide.
Okay.
Leading them from darkness into the light.
Oh, I see. Like coming out of the unknown world.
Exactly.
Into the world we know.
Right.
But what if it wasn't symbolic?
What if it was literal?
Like a real person?
Yeah, maybe someone found them and brought them to the village.
Yeah, like a traveler or maybe even a religious figure or something.
It's possible.
It adds a whole new layer to the story, doesn't it?
It really does.
It's like the line between folklore and history gets blurry.
Super blurry.
And it reminds us that even the most fantastical stories, they often come from somewhere real. Like Like maybe it was their diet
Right.
or a strange encounter.
Something in their environment.
Yeah, some little detail that sparked the legend. And then it grew from there.
That's fascinating.
It is, right?
So as we wrap up our look at the Green Children,
yeah,
I'm struck by how much we've learned.
it's been a real journey.
We've gone from history to folklore, science, philosophy, even our relationship with nature.
It's all connected.
And it's all thanks to this one story.
The power of story.
It's amazing.
It is.
And in a world that's so focused on logic and reason, these stories remind us that there's still magic out there.
Oh, yeah.
If we just keep our minds open.
That's the key.
Speaking of which, you mentioned something about Mitoribito.
Oh, yes. The Japanese legend.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Well, Mitoribito means green people.
Okay.
And they're these mythical beings associated with nature.
Right, I think I've heard of them.
They're said to have like supernatural abilities.
Right.
And just like the Woolpit kids.
Yeah.
They have green skin.
Wow, it's that green skin again.
It's everywhere.
And they're connected to this other realm.
They're often depicted as living in like remote mountains in harmony with nature.
It's interesting how the color green keeps popping up.
It's like a symbol, right?
Like it represents something primal, something connected to nature.
Yeah, it's like it marks them as different.
Yeah.
As being from somewhere else.
A place beyond our everyday experience.
Exactly. A place where magic is real.
It makes you wonder if these stories, even with all the fantastical elements, are trying to tell us something about our relationship with nature.
Maybe they are.
Like a longing for a deeper connection.
Yeah.
A time when we were more in tune with the natural world.
It's a beautiful thought.
It is.
And even if we forget about all the symbolism and the supernatural stuff, the Green Children story, it still leaves us with this feeling of wonder about the world and our place in it.
It's true.
And that's something special, don't you think?
Right. I do. It really is amazing how these stories can stick with us. You know, whether they're based on something real or just pure imagination.
They really do, you know.
It's like they tap into something deep down inside us, you know.
Yeah, that need to understand, to explore.
And with the Green Children, their story brings up so many big themes.
That does, doesn't it?
Like the whole clash between logic and the mysterious, our fascination with things that are different.
The other, yeah.
Right, exactly.
And that desire for connection. You know?
Yeah, with something bigger than ourselves.
Exactly.
And as we've talked about all these different theories, there's this one detail that I keep coming back to.
Oh yeah. Which one?
Their diet.
The raw beans.
Yeah, the fact that they wouldn't eat anything else.
At first.
All right.
At first, yeah.
It is strange.
What if that's a clue?
A clue.
To where they came from?
Some people have said, you know, maybe they were just used to a plant-based diet and their bodies, you know, just couldn't handle anything else.
Good.
But what if it was more specific than that?
More specific.
Yeah, like maybe their bodies were used to a very particular kind of bean.
Okay.
That wasn't common in England.
Right.
A bean with a specific nutrient, you know.
Okay.
Or pigment.
Pigment. Interesting.
That affected their skin color.
You know, there are plants and algae out there that have pigments that can change skin color.
Really?
Yeah, temporarily, of course.
So maybe that's why they were green.
Maybe.
And then as their diet changed, their skin color faded.
It's like their bodies were adjusting to the new environment.
Exactly. It's like you are what you eat.
Right.
But more like you are where you eat.
Or even you are when you eat.
Right. It's all connected.
It is, isn't it? Fascinating stuff.
And you know that detail about the figure in white leading the Spanish Green Children out of the cave?
Oh yeah. What about it?
Do you think it was just symbolic?
Well, it could be, right?
Like a representation of
what?
Of coming out of darkness into the light?
Right, like a spiritual journey.
Yeah, exactly.
But it could also be literal.
What do you mean?
Maybe there really was someone who found them and brought them out.
Right, like a real person.
Exactly.
That changes things, doesn't it?
It really does. It adds a whole new layer to the story.
It's like the line between myth and reality becomes even more blurry.
Yeah, the more we dig into this, the more questions we have.
And it reminds us that even even the wildest stories.
Right.
They often have some basis in reality.
Absolutely. They often start with something real.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the Green Children, I'm amazed by how much there is to explore.
It's been a real journey, hasn't it?
History, folklore, science, even philosophy.
We've covered it all.
And it all comes back to this one incredible story.
The Green Children of Woolpit.
It really shows you the power of stories to spark our curiosity.
And our imaginations.
And in a world that sometimes feels too focused on...
On what?
On logic and facts.
Yeah.
These stories remind us...
Of what?
That there's still magic out there.
There's still mystery.
If we just keep our minds open to it.
Exactly. We just got to look for it.
So listener, as we leave you today, we want to leave you with a question to ponder.
Ooh, I like it.
If St. Martin's Land really existed,
okay,
what do you think it was like?
What do you mean?
Like, what was the environment like? What would it take to create a place where people had green skin?
Good question.
Was it the air, the water?
Maybe the plants.
Yeah. Or something else entirely.
Use your imagination.
Think about it.
Let those wheels turn.
Sometimes the best mysteries are the ones we never fully solve.
That's true.
But the journey of exploring them, that's the real reward.
That's what it's all about.
So, until next time, keep exploring.
Stay curious.
And never stop digging beneath the surface of things.
There's a whole world out there waiting to be discovered.